Right, hello everybody. I'm going to spend a little bit of time giving you an update on the CoData RDA schools. Now, for those of you who haven't encountered this before, the CoData RDA schools is based on a number of key concepts. In the first instance, it's noting that generally there is a gap in the foundational understanding of data science skills, sort of very sort of technical implementation and responsible research practices. And we can put all that together into one bundle which we'll call research data science, the data science things that you need to do if you're doing research. The other point is that the recognition that we need to build communities of particularly early career researchers who have an understanding in these areas. And we put those together, those ideas together, and that's what's about the CoData RDA schools is about. So what does that implementation look like? It's a 2-week event with very much a focus on early career researchers from low and middle income countries. What is taught over those 2 weeks is a broad but shallow introduction into all of those research data science skills. The important point to note is that this is not another boot camp in that it combines technical skills with responsible research. We ran our first school in 2016, and since then we've delivered 10 schools on 5 different continents. We've taught around 400 students from about 40 different countries. In terms of value provided, if we were to look at something similar for UK universities, that would correspond to about £250,000 worth of teaching. The curriculum we've delivered is now recognised as an official output of the RDA. And what is amazing and in many respects also sort of frustrating is the fact that it's all delivered very much as a volunteer network, almost entirely. So in 2019 and early 2020, we ran schools in Addis Ababa, Trieste, San Jose and Pretoria. In Trieste, which is sort of our hub event, we ran a strand in parallel with what we teach for the early career researchers on data stewardship. And this was done with the very kind support of Affairs Fair. In San Jose, in Costa Rica, the school that was run there in December 2019, for the first time we used Python. In Pretoria, the school which was run in January of this year, we provided a school which had a greater emphasis on social science. So, this is all great, lots of things that are happening. Big emphasis on building community, providing training. Now, one of the other things that we've recently managed to implement is measuring the actual impact of the schools. And so what we did was a very detailed survey of the alumni across all of the schools from 2016 to now. And so out of that approximately 400 students, we got nearly 150 students replied, which is more than 35% of the cohort. And very much the focus of the questions is on the impact of the schools in terms of what they learned, in terms of their research, and on community building. Now, I could have another completely separate talk just talking about what were the results there. There's a paper that's going to be sent off really soon now, but I just wanted to show one particular slide from that, just to show something that's really kind of interesting here, which was asking people, okay, do you keep in contact with the attendees that you meet at the school? And the overwhelming majority stay in touch, and they do so, they mostly do that kind of on a social basis. But what's also interesting is, 2/3 of that cohort are reaching out to each other in terms of trying to support each other with respect to data science skills. Even more people are actually staying in touch with each other with respect to kind of other academic related types of issues. So this is, we think, is something that's really, really important in terms of saying, yeah, we're building that community. people are staying in touch. And this is something which is something we kind of didn't appreciate right at the start of the schools, but gradually has become more and more important in terms of what we're actually doing. So, schools, activities, community building, lots of things going. A variety of schools planned for this year. Well, then things happened, and now we have to readjust our plans for this year at least. So this is still very much a thing which is very, very much in flux, as I'm sure everybody else very well appreciates. So for this year, I think we're looking at a place where at least partially we're going to be doing things using remote delivery. Indeed, we might well be completely doing things with respect to doing things remotely. That, I think, we can turn into, and for every crisis there's an opportunity. And in particular, that will give us time to put a greater focus on building that alumni community and making them stronger. So one of the things that we're working on now is we will develop materials for training trainers, and particularly focusing that on the alumni to go and build on what they've learned. And those are things that actually are probably pretty well adapted for doing things remotely, so that we can reach out to that broader community and that they can have the skills to go and teach on what they've learned.